The word on the street is that you're not Diddy's mother and are not involved in his court issues. Not only was Mama Combs allegedly involved in her son's freakoffs, but she allegedly led the freakoffs herself. It looks like the entire family was insanely freaky, but the mother being involved in this is some next level stuff if y'all are wondering how this tea even got spilled in the first place. Well, word on the streets is that we have Kim Porter's family to thank for that, because they allegedly handed over evidence to the feds about this child. It looks like Mama Combs is about to get some matching prison jumpsuits with her son because Kim Porter's family wants justice for her and they don't care who goes down with her. So did Janice Combs introduce her son to Freakoffs, or is she another one of his victims? Let's break it down. Okay, so we have known for a hot minute now that Kim Porter's family has always contested the official ruling of her death. Pneumonia ruling. It's hard to blame them because it doesn't make a lot of sense. For one, the first coroner who performed the autopsy noted that there were some toxins in her system. Well, the next thing we knew, the coroner was fired and was replaced by another coroner who took 2 weeks to complete his findings, ruling that she passed away from pneumonia. And get this, when people started to get suspicious of the second coroner's ruling, the first coroner, the one who found toxins in her system, mysteriously passed away from so-called natural causes. Yeah, math was not mathing. Multiple sources also claimed that the feds were investigating the possibility that Kim's passing might have been a murder and not as a result of pneumonia. A source says that the family was thinking about suing Diddy for wrongful death, but they changed their minds after getting a call from the federal police. Kim's ex says that the source said that the FBI had contacted all of them, that 3 family members and 6 friends had already been questioned, and that they had all been told to remain silent. While Cassie was suing Diddy on her own, she told the lawyers that she knew why Kim Porter was killed and had proof of it. Someone else inside the case said that there had been a lot of cover-up and that many things about it didn't make sense. Someone inside the company said that people were worried about how Kim died after she died. If they were to claim that she died peacefully while sleeping from pneumonia, then why was blood found on Kim's pillows and on the bedroom floor that led to the bathroom? Why hasn't that been talked about? Kim was found on the floor of the bathroom, not in bed. If she was found in bed, it was only because she was put there on purpose. Kim was being watched over by a doctor. Sean personally chose the claim that she was found by the so-called housemates is also untrue. Sincerely, it's given the whole what Dr. Michael Jackson did to Michael Jackson. Additionally, Kim placed her final 911 call at 2:43 a.m. However, it was found that she had passed dead at approximately 11 a.m. Based on Kamora Simmons, Alabama. Be sure, Kim Porter's first baby daddy and her son Quincy's father also made hints on Instagram that Diddy had some knowledge of Kim Porter's passing. He said, "I recently came across this video from the day I found Kim Porter's murder and how it tore my spirit away from my body. It makes it abundantly obvious that Kimberly didn't suddenly stop talking about her pneumonia. That's some nonsense. I'm going to end it there. Don't let the love songs fool you." Al also suggested that Kim was unalive by posting a picture of them from the past and writing that she sent me, saying, "Art imitates life. Now it all makes sense. She also told me other things while she was running, so I told her to call the FBI. We recently celebrated our son's new deal and the Netflix Christmas special. She was in good health." The intriguing part is that, soon after discussing this, Al fell into a coma, and upon waking, he almost died. This seems a little strange, don't you think? Well, given Diddy's current situation with the feds, rumors are circulating that Kim's family is attempting to get the feds to reopen the investigation into her death, claiming that they have evidence that not only relates to Kim's passing, but also provides additional insight into Diddy's bizarre behavior, such as the notion that his mother was a participant in his freakouts. Now, in order to understand this situation, we must go all the way back to Diddy's early years. Melvin Combs was involved in some pretty sketchy activities, and he was connected to Frank Lucas, yes, the same Frank Lucas that served as the inspiration for the film American Gangster. When Diddy was just 3 years old, his mother Janice made sure to keep him away from the rough side of life. When he turned 12, she moved him and his sister out of Harlem to Mount Vernon, New York, which was Mom's way of getting us out of the inner city after my father was killed. Diddy spoke about this and said, "Until I was 12. I lived in Harlem, then we moved to Mount Vernon, New York. That was Mom's way of getting us out of the inner city after my father was killed. But my grandma lived in Harlem, so I went back and forth. I remember simple things about empty Vern grass trees and being able to play baseball in Harlem. There was no little league, no front yard with grass, but the neighborhood was multicultural, so that widened my horizon." In a 2006 chat with Oprah, Diddy opened up about how he found out the real story behind his dad's deaths, despite his mother's best efforts to keep it a secret. Diddy said, "She attempted to shield me after doing some study and discovering the truth for himself. My mother was selective about the facts she told me because she didn't want me to follow in the footsteps of her husband, a hustler. who sold narcotics in Harlem because it was the only way out. You might think that with his dad's unfortunate circumstances and his mother's sacrifice of working 2 jobs and almost burning herself in debt to send him to a fancy Catholic school, Diddy would stay on the streets and narrow, avoiding any messy drug life. But it turns out that wasn't quite the case even at his private Catholic school. Diddy somehow found himself rubbing hands with the wrong crowd. My father was in the army, owned a car service, and died in an automobile accident. However, even as a child, I put 2 and 2 together and noticed that guys from the streets in Harlem always seemed to know my family's last name. According to stories, he became close friends with Andrew Campos, a member of the infamous Gambino criminal family from Lalosa, Norway. After graduating, they continued their close friendship by playing football together at St. Michael's. Diddy, the child, has been determined to be evil for a while, and it seems that his mother had some effect on that as well. Back in the day, Janice claimed to be both a model and a teacher's helper, but the streets are calling that BS. Now that all the dirty tricks from Diddy's past are coming to light, there's talk that his mother Janice may have trained him in some dubious business. Although she claimed to be a model, there are no records of her modeling jobs. Instead, rumors suggest she was more interested in planning fashion shows, if you understand what I mean. Rapper Mace also alluded to the chance that Diddy's mother was supporting his actions and knew more than she was letting on.
Yo, I did this. Told my he want receipts. Let's start with your mother. Your mother got the receipts. Everything is in your mother's name.
Glancing back, many things are starting to make sense now, such as the strange video that Diddy posted of him and his mother. It was strange of him to flaunt his mother's body in that way. Did you also notice the part in the federal indictment papers that the feds released? They revealed that Diddy and the Freakoff victims usually got IV drips to recover from their Freakoffs. I know you've noticed Cassie's lawsuit, in which she claimed that Diddy made her wear white nail polish prior to her Freakoffs, as well as the comment about how his mother could touch the floor with her hands. Indeed, people are making connections between the dots, and it appears that Mama may have been acting strangely toward her son. This is quite bizarre to consider, but considering the rumors surrounding her background and the actions she is supposedly allowing her son to engage in, should we really be shocked? As one fan put it, this sounds like Mama on payroll for one of his workers. I'd like to know your thoughts on this, so leave a comment below and then watch the next film. Gee, that's not his mom, that's his boss. His mother has always seemed suspicious to me. She gave me bad vibes and knew she didn't care as long as the lifestyle continued.